know
But
that
okay,
come
you want to talk about how tolerant the church is? Feminism is incompatible with Christianity.
agreed.
No, that's
How
not.
many
No, that's not
feminists?
entirely true.
That is
'Cause
so
if you
true.
look,
That is
so
so
no,
true. That is
Ooh,
no.
so
we
true.
got a good one.
If
We
you
got a good
if
one.
you look in scripture, there are
Okay.
prominent female figures that
That's
Correct.
actually.
fine.
What's that?
Let's talk about gender
Mhm.
roles though.
Family.
Yeah, there's a lot of women in the Bible, but what is the Bible's main theme of gender roles?
Mm, mm.
Ooh, as a hush runs over the crowd. I had a nerve. I did.
So you said something about a Porsche Cup, huh? What's that?
Porsche Cup. So me and John go to the US Open every year. And John was so excited one year because and John loves Porsches, right? And the Porsche Cup was a couple days after the US Open, before or after. I forgot what it was.
It was after. Um,
It
I
was
think we were
after. So
down
we
there
went
for
to the
the
Open.
the IMAF. I think was the IMAF that time around. Different
And then
different tournament.
different event, yeah. And we went there and just happened to be at the same time. We get there, we go to the Porsche Cup, closed event. We go into the big foyer and it's invite only, gotta have a Porsche, right? So and they're going off. You can hear them going, and we're like, we want to be out there. I go up to I go up to the office and I go, hey, listen, I know we're not supposed to be here, but how much would it cost for us to get in here? Trying to tell her, trying to ask her in a nice way, how much is it going to cost? And she goes, this is closed to the public. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's nothing we can do. John, and he goes, yes, sir. Did you talk to this young lady? I go over, this is no joke. I go over and start looking at some of the billboards and things. And there's one of the billboards you can ride with a professional driver for like $250 back in the day. I was like, wait a minute, I can go for a few laps and this guy drives us around like we're, in a NASCAR.
You get the
I'm like,
full
yeah, you
experience.
can pick your star. I'm looking at, this is really cool. John comes out to me and I go, what gate? He goes, 44. Just walk out. We
It was
hop
the
in his
best
car, go
stuff.
to gate 44, and John goes, yeah, there's this person over here. We need a wristband and this and that. And he gives us a couple wristbands and off we go. And we just got into the
That's
Porsche
some
Cup. We're
old
sitting
school
in the Porsche
maneuvering
Cup
right
in
there.
a stand where there's nobody because it was a closed fucking loop system. It was just like me and John in the stands.
It was
That's it. We had
incredible,
one
man.
stand to ourselves. It was
Best
amazing. It really was.
best spot in the entire place. It was at the Daytona Speedway. We were right in the middle of the action. The craziest part was, like
We
Michael
could have
said,
threw a pebble at the cars as they were coming by.
yeah,
I'm not kidding. The fence just think.
you could
I'm
see
not
the
kidding.
faces, the reactions on
To
drivers'
the
faces, the
faces.
whole thing. It was so cool. But the funniest part was, I knew so much about the event that I was able to kind of throw around a little bit of stuff at the guy to let him know, oh yeah, so and so Probst is going to be in 23, and then he's like, yep, it was like you sort
You
of
thought they were one of the guys.
validate yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Michael and I have walked through Disney with baseball bats on our shoulders with stuff you're not
You
supposed to
got two
have at
by
Disney.
fours in the front gate. I'm not kidding. You couldn't make this shit up if we tried. Got some 2x2s, got some cement, baseball bats, things were gonna break, right? Walk to the front gate of Wild World of Sports, right? Front gate. And I go, we got an event. We got to be there like now. I'm sorry. And they just go, well, let's look on this thing. And they don't have anything. The front gate has nothing. Sorry. I go like this. Sorry, gotta go. Sorry, not sorry, gotta go. Walk through. Someone said a long time ago, if you walk in anywhere with a ladder, you're good. Walked in the street. I don't know how much it costs to get in the Wide World of Sports because I've never paid. We walked through, got to the event, got to the guy that was organizing the event, and goes, where'd you guys come from? We came from the main gate. You guys are supposed to come in gate 6. We should have. be nice if we knew that. That'd be really kind of fun, but we
The
just
best-
decided to walk in the front
That's a
with
good.
baseball
That's a good
bats. With
trick.
like 3 or 4 baseball bats and 2x2s.
That's a good trick with
we
the
went to Home
ladder,
Depot to
though.
get
I
stuff.
never really thought about that with the ladder. That's a good trick.
Yeah,
You
ladder
can get into
or
the Pentagon with the ladder.
Yeah,
or a
dude.
vest. Those little
Or a vest,
chartreuse
yeah.
vests. My son sent me a video a long time ago of a guy that does that. And he gets into sporting events all over the place. He gets into all kinds of things, musical, like music
Broadway
events.
shows and stuff.
Puts on a vest, has like a 2-way radio that doesn't even work. Puts it on. It's all like bulky and like you say, walks in tool bag, walks in, got the look on the face. Got safety goggles on. Hey, where's the sprinkler head I'm supposed to look at? Nobody said sprinkler. No, there's a sprinkler head that's leaking. I just got it a minute ago. I think it's on the other side. I'll show myself over there.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to walk in the front gates, but I think putting the front gates with that kind of stuff really like shows you're a knucklehead that doesn't know where they're supposed to go. I mean, it's most construction people come in through the back door.
This
right?
is
And most
why
construction people
TSA
come through
was
the back
born.
door. They know where the back door is. We just walk right in the door.
Brian,
I couldn't believe it, Brian.
here's the one. Here's the biggest one yet. It was the most recent one. I applied to Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos' space rocket company. I applied there to be a business analyst for them. And my resume was being looked at, and it shows you the progress and all that. And Michael and I were in Florida. We did a race down there, and we were just kind of putzing around. And I said, "Hey, I applied to Blue Origin." He goes, "Yeah, let's go in." I'm like, "You can't go into Blue Origin." He's like, "No, come over here." We
Let's take
pull
a shot at
into
this.
it. We pull
Take a
in
shot.
deep, and the guy's coming out, and Mike's like,
He wanted to
like,
let us in. He so wanted to let us in. I go, "Hey, dude, there's some structural with wall 4. I need to look at this. Give me 20 minutes." He goes, "What company? I go, "Dude, it's all I swear, I just dropped the luggage off at the hotel. All my identification's in there." I go, "Can I give you my driver's license?" And this guy's just dying to let us in. And it wasn't, I don't know if there's anything in there that was, I don't know how to put it, off limits for us to see. Because you can see it from the road.
They
I don't
do
know. We would've
government
found something.
contracts. They do
Yeah,
government
that's true too.
contracts.
That's true too. That's true too.
Yeah, they don't. They don't.
I wish I would have had the vest going in there.
Basically,
Just walked right in.
if you act like you're supposed to be there, other people will take that on too.
It was. Yeah.
The guy was trying to let us in so bad.
And Mike was saying all the right things. He was throwing construction jargon around.
Yeah. You gotta throw just enough.
Where are
I go like this.
Where are the steel guys? Where are the steel? And we're looking at the steel guys. We're looking at the fucking steel guys. There's a bone in one of the beams. I pretend I was an engineer. There's a bone in one of the beams that has some stability issues. We need to take care of this today. And this guy was just like, "Oh, what company are you with?" "I'm with Shark Engineering or something like that." "Do you have any identification?" "Do you want my driver's license?" "That's all I got right now. I got to go back to the hotel." He was straight up, dude. It was hilarious. We had a riot.
Oh,
we always have a riot.
Every time. Brian, every single time.
I think we're going to go, the next restaurant we're going to go in the back and start cooking.
I dare you. We should do it. Like, isn't this supposed to be one of those where the chef walks you through making a dish and just start going at it and see what they do? That'd be great, man.
Health inspector.
Yes.
From the health
We'll get the hats. We'll get a hat.
Got to get the vest. Got to get the vest. Get the vest.
Some
Walk
kind
in
of
there.
badge that has like an acronym on it.
I agree with that, but I think it's too easy.
Too easy?
It's too easy. I mean, we got to
make it a little bit challenging. Okay.
Yeah, make it a little challenging. Because you got health inspector from whatever county they're in. That's a walk-in. That's not even hard. A clipboard. You need a clipboard, the thing, and that's all you can have, the clipboard.
Well, the clipboard, that's a whole nother level.
Right?
That's a business ladder right there.
Maybe a piece of paper that says not the county, health inspector. Just health inspector. That's it. Not
The
like
clipboard.
county of, Oakland County, county of Saginaw, or any of those counties that because it's easy to get the symbol off the county website, put it onto a letterhead, put it, and then have a
Right.
sheet and just put, fucking, what
Yep.
are the health? I remember one time we did a health inspection at my dad's restaurant in Colorado Springs, and I was going to school at the time, and the health inspector came through. I don't know if I said this story before. And then and this was a legit health inspector. He went through the restaurant and he goes, "Hey, listen, you got a 54." I'm like, "Cool." He goes, "No, no, no, no." He goes, like 54 out of 100. And I'm like, "Oh, what does that mean? Is it a 5-star or something like that? 4 over 5-star?" He goes, "No, no, no, no. It's 54 out of 100." He goes, "I'm going to come back in a week. And if this list isn't fixed, we're shutting you down." I'm like, "Oh, that can't be good." That can't be good.
Oh shoot, man.
And then my dad just looked at the list and handed it to me. And I just came there, and he goes, "Here, this is your job." That was my first instructional job when I was like
No
16
kidding.
or something.
Okay.
I was, painting shelves because you're not supposed to have unfinished wood in a restaurant. And my
Right.
brothers were throwing like cups on the ground in bags, like in bags, but they're on the ground. They're
Yeah.
supposed to be on shelves. And I'm doing all this stuff, running through the list, fixing everything up. And the week came by, and I happened to be in school at the time. And it was, the inspector's coming at 12 o'clock on the Thursday or something. And I got out of school and I came running over there, seeing how he did. And my dad goes, 98. When the fuck they lose 2 points? He goes, we left the garbage can lid open. If that was shut, it would have been 100.
You got to
I'm
give
like,
him something. Got to
wow,
give him
no, I
something.
didn't like that part. I was like, no. I'm gonna give up
Yeah.
a 2. Who left that can open? Who left the can open? I didn't know. I
You're
didn't know
fired.
that
Yeah.
the can was lit, that was supposed to be shut was I didn't know that was an item. I didn't know that was
That's
an
hilarious. That's
98 good compliments, but that one bad one is in your
Yep.
mind.
funny.
And that store did
Oh my
pretty well.
gosh.
I learned a lot about people because it was in a lower grade area, and it was right outside of Fort Carson, Colorado. And I learned,
Oh, cool.
GIs are, yeah. I got a lot of respect for the GIs. They really followed orders, but as soon as they got out of the uniform, they were different.
Animals.
They were animals. Yeah, there you go.
They
You
left
got
the
it, John.
oath
You
with
talk
the
about your
uniform.
cousins or brothers that were Marines.
All of them. Yeah.
They're animals. That's a great. And then we'd sit there, and we had so much fun with the customers. It should have been illegal. There was this large woman that was very unattractive,
Mm.
and we would just go, "This is not right in any way, shape, or form," and I'm gonna get flagged for it. Hey, listen, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna answer all our hate mail on our
Yeah,
on our
find me on that.
podcast. Yeah,
Find me
there you
on
go.
that. We'll go through it.
So I'm sitting there. I don't know why I did this. We were just horrible. We were young and stupid. There was this rather large girl, and I go, "Hey, man," and she goes, "Where's Andy at?" And I was like, "Oh, you like Andy?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "You know what? He likes you too. He's
Oh.
really, it's really shy." I know. Look at Pity Jedi. He's like, and so and then the next day, I go, "He's being tomorrow about 3:00. Come on in." She comes in. I was just trying not to laugh. I was just busting
Set him up.
And
You
she
set
goes,
him up.
"Andy." Oh, dude. He goes, "Andy, listen, I think you're the most gorgeous guy in the world. And I'm gonna have a party at my house at 11:00 tonight, and it's only gonna be me and you.
Oh.
And then you're gonna get lucky." And Andy's just looking around like,
Like, what the hell you mean lucky?
Lucky. And they got me too. We would harass each other all day long. We had cooked Italian sausage, and this one guy would always like kind of keep his mouth open, always like this. He goes, "Hey, watch, guys. This is bad." Stuck in the mail, shoved in this guy's mouth.
Oh, jeez. Was he ex-military?
No, it was just a knucklehead. And they got me one time. So when I was young, I liked certain music. And
Yep.
so the stereo just happened to be like 9 feet in the air. The ceilings were 10 feet. It was like a foot off the ceiling. And I had to climb on a freezer and like balance myself. And I got up and I'm like, trying to work on this stuff. And I always wore jogging pants. And my friend just goes, whack, and just drops my shoulder. As
You'll
two
get
hot
pantsy.
customers come walking in and like, hey, what's up? I got the stereo in my hand. I can't like, go like this. I'm like, I slide it back in. I pull my pants out
Good,
and then I start fixing it. I hop off the thing and I walk over to him. I go, tonight while you can sleep.
Revenge.
Revenge is a dish served best cold.
Oh yes. That's hilarious.
Oh, that was, yeah, we did a lot of work, but we had a lot of fun doing it. That's where I learned to have fun at work.
Yeah.
Brian seems awfully quiet. He doesn't have any stories. He's been a good boy this whole time.
I'm just
Not one
listening.
bad story.
You didn't walk into Blue Origin by, without proper documentation? What's wrong with you?
I thought we were going to jail, man.
We would have talked our way out of that one. We would have talked our way out of the cops would have came there. This is the wrong Blue Origin. There's another one about
Oh, this is Blue Origin. We're looking for Green Origin. I'm so sorry. Oh shoot.
Yeah, I don't know where they draw that line. That'd be interesting to see.
Hard to say.
Because you haven't really done anything wrong. You're just talking shit.
Yeah.
Well, if someone lets us in, is it our fault?
Well, this is the whole January 6th thing, isn't it?
Oh.
No. They were all allowed in with the.
I know.
The January 6th thing is, that was bad. I mean, that was bad.
Was it?
Was
it? It was bad because somebody
bad.
died. That was really why.
Well, the guy. So who incited the riot? I don't know.
Weird person put their head through a window.
Man, me and John done worse.
Yeah, for trophies.
For trophies. One of those.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Yeah, no, we've put our heads through more things than that.
Yeah. What topic are you gentlemen interested in discussing today?
So it's one of these forever conversations, at least I want to start out with. Because I keep having this conversation with people, and I keep having it with people, and I keep having it with people, and it's fucking annoying. So we're gonna have it again here. So it's basically this independence conversation.
Oh.
This individual conversation versus the collective conversation.
Okay.
Because I see so many people, because we're fractured as a whole, and everybody wants to retreat into their own little, what does it go? It goes, only worry about the stuff you can control.
Yeah, that's all you can worry about. If you worry about other things, it's a waste.
I push back against it, though. So I'll run this through real quick. I'll show you what I got here. I had some conversation with some random ass person the other day. I think it was yesterday. We can start with the joke. That was funny. So you got ghosted by someone who quotes Marcus Aurelius. What lesson are you supposed to learn? I said, when people show you who they are, believe them. But then this person said, focus only on what you can control, yourself. And I said, though this is healthy, I push back against this these days. What is to be had of a society where everyone goes around just thinking of themselves and their little situation? And that is so much of it right there.
Well, so you can, so your quandary is focus versus
the quandary is what is to be had of a society where everybody goes around thinking about themselves and their little situation.
So what percent of your life should you consider yourself, and what percent of your life should you consider society?
Great question, but most people lean into the all me, fuck society, fuck them.
Well,
I need to
some
worry
people
about
are in
me.
a situation where the all me is everything I need to concentrate on right now.
Sure.
Right.
But
if you have the luxury to think about society and you have the luxury to work on society, then you can become a politician.
Well, most people don't think they can work on society. Most people do this shit. They just throw their hands in the air. And as I was talking to my friend a little bit ago, that's exactly what the enemy wants. They want you to throw your hands up in the air. They want you to feel defeated. They want you to think that you can't make no change.
What enemy are you talking about?
Whoever wants to control the narrative and all, you know?
Okay, is it what I'm trying to ask? Is it spiritual or is it?
Here you go. I knew you were going there.
Well,
No,
what
just
enemy are you
like
talking about?
physical, like in real life, not metaphysical exactly. Maybe it's like motivated by that, I guess you could say for some of them, right? But no, like the real, like challenging institutions that are corrupt. It could be politics stuff. It could be local government stuff, whatever it is. But it's this thing. It's this thing. Here, I'll keep going because we had a little bit more going on about it too. Because a person wanted to bring up religion. And I said, I agree. Let us love by need to breathe, even if you do not believe the message is there. Whatever the hell that means. I said,
Let
capitalism
us
seems to be.
love by
Yeah.
need to
I don't know
breathe.
what the hell that means, but whatever. Capitalism seems to be largely the opposite of what religion proposes. I think they were talking about religion as an individual versus collective. So we romanticize the individual, and rightly so. But lone wolves just die. Lone wolves just die. Because that's the old American thing, you know, John Wayne and out in the West, and you have the Lone Ranger and the whole Chuck Norris deal, right? Your lone wolf. But if you play this out, they say that what do they say? They say that they found out the only thing people fear more than death is being kicked out of the tribe.
Each person has a different phobia.
Well, it's to
So,
say people who used to get kicked out of the tribe, it was like a certain death sentence, basically.
well, there was a time in American history called rugged individualism where you
Mountain
were
men.
told, get in your wagon, head west, find your fortune. And people did that. And they survived. They were pioneers and such. So it's a mindset. But in reality, what is culture to you? Now let me, before I go further, let me run this
More
by you guys.
definition.
So culture can be your, you know, like if you're of a ethnic background, or culture can be like espousing to a philosophy, like at work. You know, you have work culture. At your own home, you may have your own culture or your traditions and such.
Oh, you're right. I guess culture in what sense then?
Right. And I guess the biggest thing to think about here is you were talking about, you know, people getting kicked out of the tribe. Isn't that kind of like jail? Like if you think about society, removing a person out of society and sticking them in a jail.
No, that's a vacation for some people.
That
That's
is
a good
true.
point.
3 hots in a cot, right?
3 hots in a cot. That's a good point. 3 hots in a cot. Man, your verbiage is out there, buddy.
I
3
picked it
hots
up
in a
along the
cot, 3
way.
hot meals. So here's something to add to this. The culture or this tribe or the society. I heard this one story that this one guy went to the future and he said that, you know, the computer, you know, ran everything, defense, everything. So people didn't need to work. But you had to follow the rules, you know, and the rules were basically don't hurt anybody, don't break anything. And then some people didn't want to do that. So they would just leave the cities. And they would just be, you know, they would be, like you said, ousted, but they would do it themselves.
Well, those are typically psychopaths, but yeah.
Well, I don't, but it was a really unique concept. Like,
Well,
there's
this
a
is like the
circle.
days when people used to hop on a train and never come back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they
Was it
a lot of times
self-isolation?
a lot of times they were fucking psychopaths that were doing this because they fucking burned all the bridges in their last life and they want to try to
True.
hop a new town and try to start over.
That is
And there,
true.
nobody knows me, so I can blend in and act normal until I'm fucking found out that I'm fucking crazy.
Like H.H. Wells, the White Devil. Did you ever read that book about the
No, what's that
Chicago
about?
World's Fair? The guy H.H. Wells, he was a mass murderer, as one of the first mass murderers in the United States. It's quite the story. If you ever get a chance to read it, it's nonfiction. Yeah,
Hey,
that's H.G. Wells.
I put in
This
HA.
is you did put H.H.
I'll
Put in
see if
The
I can
Devil
correct
in White
it.
City. I might be
H.H.
saying it
Wells
wrong.
could be the American. So
No,
The Devil in White City.
I think I know who you're talking about, though. They
Yeah.
considered him like the most evil man ever.
Yes. There we go. Isn't it H.H. Wells, or am I wrong?
Madness at the
Alright.
Fair that changed America.
Yeah. Happened in Chicago.
Was there a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio?
H.H. Holmes?
What is it?
H.H. Holmes, maybe?
That's it. Holmes. What did I say? Wells?
Well,
Yeah.
Sorry. It's Holmes. Yeah. Like
Set in
Sherlock Holmes.
Chicago during the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition. Tells the story of the World's Fair architect and his friend, a criminal figure, widely considered the first serial killer. I think I know about this guy, but I don't
He
know.
built a house that was basically to murder. That's him. Yeah, to murder women. And it's a crazy, twisted nonfiction story. And you're talking about, psychopaths and moving on. And he assumed different identities. I mean, he was the psychopath.
he was the
He
original
was
psychopath in the United States.
Well, he
honestly.
embodied all that, huh?
Oh gosh, yeah.
How many murders did he commit?
It's listed. It's up
27,
there.
it says there.
Yeah.
How many?
27.
27 murders. Oh my god.
That's a lot back then.
That's a lot anytime.
Not really. You could get
27.
that with a machine gun now, It's just...
True. Yeah, that's true. No, he did it the old-fashioned way. He'd lock them, and then he would release poisonous gas into a room, and I mean, it's pretty crazy.
This
But
isn't the story that I heard, but because the one I heard, dude, was... Yeah, there was another story I heard Jocko cover a while back, and that dude was twisted.
Mm.
That dude was
Define
hopping trains.
twisted.
He was a crazy axe murderer running all over.
no boy.
He was killing people in jail. This dude was on one.
Wow.
Who's your favorite
Crazy.
serial killer?
What a question.
Well, John's is what's H.H. Holmes, right?
H.H.
Uh,
Holmes.
So when we say, my picture's frozen, but I'll fix it. When we say favorite serial
that?
killer,
What does that mean?
Yes.
I know. Please define that.
Well, let me give you so the one that you admire the most for being the worst psychopath on the planet.
Gosh. Well, that H.H. Holmes guy, what was the craziest part was that he was a brilliant murderer, mass murderer, where
Most are.
All the
Most
really
you
good
get
ones
away
are,
from for
yeah.
a period of
Yeah.
time. Smart suckers. Look at the Zodiac
Crazy.
killers. Still never
Well,
caught.
look at Bundy,
gosh, yeah.
Manson. They're all bright,
Right.
Yeah.
They're highly intelligent.
Yeah.
So my favorite
Didn't-
is Dexter.
I was going to
There's
ask
a-
you. I love
Dexter.
Dexter.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
I
Yes.
never
Pick a-
rooted
I
for
thought
a
you were gonna pick a
serial killer
real
before
one.
in my life. Kill that son of a bitch! I'm gonna
He's a
jump through the street
vigilante.
and do it myself.
Now you're dipping into fiction. That's two different worlds.
I know, but wasn't there a girl that was kind of like a Dexter, and she was killing bad people and stuff
In real life?
in real life.
Probably.
Type in female Dexter. Very interested to see if that
Be
pops
right
up.
back.
Go for it, John.
So I'd probably put here Genghis.
Genghis. Well, he was a ruler. I mean, he wasn't really a murderer. He was.
Are you serious?
No, yeah, because dude, in war is hell. War is hell.
Dude, he started all the wars.
War is hell. War is hell. And I heard something that's crazy fact. I can't believe this. 10% of the DNA in the world is Genghis Khan's.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've
Impregnated a
heard Rogan
lot of
talking
women.
about it. I've heard Rogan talking about it forever, but he said that there would be armies that would be coming towards where they were, and they would be like, "Oh, I see the mountain ahead. I see the white tops of the mountain." And then they get closer, and they get closer, and they realize that the whole mountain is just a pile of bones. That's insane.
Can you imagine possessing a modern weapon during that time? Like
Well,
you ever
Always
see
thought
modern,
about that.
yeah.
you ever see Evil Dead with Bruce what's his name? Campbell? Where he went back in medieval time. You never saw this? And his arm
No.
was cut off, so he duct taped a gun to it or a chainsaw to it. And then his other hand he had a shotgun, and he got thrown back in time, and he was fighting off witches with the. You never saw that? Oh my goodness,
No.
you
See
would
that?
love it.
That would be
Evil
amazing.
Dead. Evil Dead. You got to watch it. It's great.
You see that?
40 million patients are in my.
Yeah, approximately 40 million Genghis killed. Approximately 11%
11%, as much as 11%.
of the globe's
Global
population. He killed.
population has his DNA.
No. He reduced the global population by as much as
wait.
11%. He killed 10% of the people on the planet, man. Yeah.
Find out what so at the top
Absolutely
on the Google
insane.
search. On the Google search, how
I'm
much
not worried about his
DNA does Genghis
procreation.
Khan have in the United?
I'm not worried about his procreation.
Come
This
on,
is
man.
crazy right here.
He's planting
He
seeds all
took
over the
out
world.
11% of the population of Earth by himself.
Yeah, but there was 250 people, so only killed 22.
40 million approximately.
Huh? 40 million. So
Just
you're
a
saying that
couple.
it was 400? There was 400 million back then.
Just a couple people.
Oh, he went on a tear, man. You had two choices. Now think about that. Now you guys are soldiers, right? So his army comes up to you. What are you gonna do? You're gonna fight it, or you're gonna join it?
Well, you really don't have much choice back then.
Well, yeah, you did.
'Cause it's not like you could run. That was the
It was
beauty
a
of their
battle.
army, is that nobody could really run away.
There was a battle in Africa, and I forgive me for not knowing the names, but I recall the two great armies were coming at each other, and I believe the Mongols were going to attack. It was an African army, but they're generationally they became immune to malaria, and that's why modern day sickle cell anemia exists. This is honest, and they developed I guess you could say like a natural
Resistance to
immunity.
it.
resistance to malaria. When the other army came, they didn't, and they basically didn't necessarily fight. Or I think the African army did attack, knowing that the other army was ill with malaria, and that's when they
Perfect
got
time
them.
to attack.
I gotta look that up. It's a famous battle.
Hmm.
I'll look it up while we're talking.
Do you remember
Yeah, I know
John?
that Michael likes to talk about how many people are related to Genghis, but he killed 10% of the globe's population,
It's
dude.
insane.
That is so insane. That is so insane to think about. Oh,
It is.
he killed 1 out of every 10 people alive at the time.
God.
That's crazy.
What was the height of Genghis Khan's army?
What was it?
The height of his army. What was
The
amount
height of his army?
the
I don't know. I
amount
know
of
his.
people that were
Well,
in his?
the steppe, right? That was their area. They call it the steppe, right? They're basically China and stuff. But they took over that whole area, and they actually went too far because they revolutionized the horseback fighting and stuff, which is what made them so special. Because his dudes could just live off the milk of the animal. That's some gnarly shit, boy.
Yeah.
You're out estranged so far that you need to milk your animal to keep surviving.
That's so fucked up.
That's crazy.
Hey, listen, it's war tactics.
Well, survival of the fittest. There you go.
Hey, Chad, you remember the story of the two samurais?
Which one? Which ones?
There was back in the day, and as Dane Cook says, it was a Thursday. There was two great samurais. There was two great samurais, and the samurais were the best samurais in the world, and they were
Right.
bound to fight. And then one day they just came together, and they touched swords. And everybody in its amazement, everybody in their amazement, were waiting for the greatest fight in the world.
Did they touch swords in the sauna?
Shut up. You can ruin a great story. So,
or was this
when they
after? It sounds like this is the part after.
when everybody was waiting for the greatest battle of all times, and after a while they sat there the entire time, and then after hours they backed up and then drew the swords down and put them away and walked away.
That's a crazy
Because they
story.
both, if they were the best soldiers, if they were the best samurai at the time, they knew one thing: the person that attacked was at the disadvantage, and neither of them wanted to take that option.
Yeah.
There's an
So
old
your
saying.
1279 is your peak here.
The old saying is when two lions
Approximately
fight,
9 million
one
square
usually
miles.
dies and the other one is injured. So it's probably the same concept, you know. So that's the Mongolian army took over that.
You see
part
this,
of the-
Michael? Yeah, the Mongol at its peak, right? It says it's under Kublai Khan. I assume that's just after Genghis somewhere.
Yeah, million square miles.
9
million square miles.
In a time before cars, before railroad. That is insane. Like, the only thing they didn't take was freaking India right here in Middle East area, Saudi and stuff.
Africa, Russia.
Well, they didn't even get that far because they didn't even get across the Saudi spot there.
That's crazy.
That's
But
a
what
big
is the largest
territory to own, man.
What is the largest killer of all human population? The
Mosquitoes.
largest. Yes. Mosquitoes. Yep. You win. You were right.
I almost said the Black Plague, but
Mosquitoes.
yeah.
What animal in Africa, not inside, what animal kills more people in Africa?
Hippo.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Not really.
Look, number one, I don't want to look at one. I saw this one dude, like these guys go on safaris, crazy white people. And this hippo is chasing the safari car. And the hippo is chasing a truck.
Yeah, they can move too.
I know that now. And did you know that the one thing that I learned was really crazy that, pigs in America, humans in America are larger, fatter than the average American pig.
Yeah.
And the hippos are the same way. They have more muscle mass. I thought it was all fat. They have more muscle mass than you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, I don't think that's even it. Dude, they say if you trace back the hippo, and it's like lineage, at one point, it split, and the hippo went one way, and the whale went the other. Bet you didn't know that.
I really have a hard time with evolution. I really,
Most people do. Most people do.
God, it sounds like a fucking story to me.
Yeah.
And they're trying to sell it to me as facts.
I know. It's like the opposite end of the religion thing.
Well, it's
like people who believe in evolution look at religion like, really? And then people who believe in religion look at evolution like, really?
Well, not really, because if you were to think about this, the whole plant, evolution, if you look at evolution, is pretty much what the Bible described. Right? In the beginning, there was nothing.
Okay.
Right? And then God created the stars, the planet, the water, the humans, and animals and humans, in that order. that's the order. Just time frame is different on evolution. But more like God created all the animals at one time versus this evolve. Here's the crazy part about evolution. They don't
Yeah,
have the transitional pieces of anything going to anything else,
what do you
right?
mean?
Well, let's go this route. There's fish, right? And then there's platypus, and then there's people. And then there's animals and there's people, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But they still have platypus today.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't evolve.
No, rhinos barely did from Triceratops, but whatever.
So if you were to look at every animal in the world and the extinct ones, they had an origin date and they have an end date. They don't transfer into anything else.
Well, the stuff we know about.
My point in case. It's all we can talk about is stuff.
But I mean, all this goes back to single cell, multi-cell.
Oh, that one. So, John, here's a question for you. John's our resident scientist, brilliant.
He's
the
our smart
smartest guy
on
in
the
the room.
panel.
We'll go that
No,
route.
I just read.
President, smartest guy in the world.
He's the smart guy on the
I
panel.
listen and I read.
So,
see, that's what we're
if
saying.
I'm not mistaken, they have all these this one guy said it best. He goes, science only expects you to believe in one miracle, the Big Bang. Right?
Well, religion, you mean?
No, science expects you to believe in one miracle, the Big Bang. The Big Bang is a miracle.
I've heard that before. Yeah.
Right. So they're only asking one. They're asking you for a lot more. They just don't tell it. They don't show the transitional pieces into all of that. They here's the one that kills me the most. You said it best. We have not realized, we have not seen, we cannot reproduce life coming from non-life.
Okay.
John, am I wrong on that?
It's the greatest mystery in life. Well, let me restate that. It's the greatest mystery, period. Meaning, how did we get here, right? We're comprised of elements. And then like we talked about in one of our really, really good discussions about technically we're solid, but we're not solid, right? I mean, we're comprised of atoms.
That hurt. You're right,
hurts
but that
bad.
hurt.
Oh, and then we have a conscience, and you guys talked about robots, and we're talking about it's all
robots.
It's all like this. We're hitting on all the great mysteries.
You mash in the other one that says all is mental. It's like I don't even know where to go from here.
Our ideas, right? I know, right? Like Michael was talking about light. Everything's like
light thing still bugs me. Yeah.
It's all there.
So someone asked me, "What do you guys do?" I go, "We kind of look for truth." And they go, "What is truth?" And my definition of truth, if you can't disprove it, it's true.
Wow, that's the scientific method.
Yeah, there's something called
that really method? Throws your religion book away, doesn't it? You gotta see it and believe it.
No.
You said that you gotta prove it.
The other way around.
You said you gotta prove it.
You gotta disprove it. So the totally opposite of what you're saying. So the death and resurrection of Christ is the most proven fact in human history. Right? And I know you don't believe it. That's fine. You'd have to look into it.
You said right.
But I think there's 4,965 writings for the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, and there's 0 against, which the Romans and the Jewish leaders would want to say anything against it. So, the second most proven fact in history is this war. I wish I could remember the war. 635 writings for, 4 against. They take the 600, they weigh the evidence and say 644, this war happening, right? And throw away the 4. Death and resurrection of Christ, there's no proven facts back in the day when it came out that it didn't happen. That is the most insane stat I've ever.
That they don't mention it in the first book, but in the later books it becomes more prevalent.
What do you mean the first books?
I don't know. Let's watch
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John?
I think Matthew was the first book, right?
Well, over the years, and correct me if I'm wrong, John, from what I understand, over the years they were found, and then precursor copies were found to the 40 years after Jesus Christ died.
The exact
I think it was Matthew was probably the most.
Yeah, some people like that Alex O'Donnell, is it? O'Donnell or O'Connor? What's
O'Connor,
his O'Connor? He
Alex O'Connor.
he
Yeah.
he leads his conversation, his thoughts off of like presumed dates of written text, and then he starts to disprove right there, like 40 years later they write these books about Jesus. That's not true because he admitted he doesn't know the dates that those were written. So you can't presume past that. You have to just say, we don't know exactly when they were written, but here's what they were written about. I'm not I'm not trying to discredit what he was thinking necessarily, but you can't come out and say, I don't know when it was written, but if they're written 40 years after, then it's this, and this, and this, and this, and this. I mean, that's not a good way to lead
Right.
a conversation.
Yeah, I don't know
Some of
what
his
the
points were
exact
very
ones are.
compelling, very, very compelling. And like Michael was saying, like even the scriptures, the translations that occurred, um,
Mm,
it's there's always some,
yep.
like I know a different language. I know English, I know Ukrainian. I understand them both. And the thing is that there's thoughts, there's ideas, there's concepts, there's words that do not directly translate and vice versa. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
The brain. My mother-in-law is Vietnamese. She like certain concepts don't sink in with her, but certain things she says, I'm like, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. So you're right. There's certain things that are going to be cut up, but yeah,
I
that's a
don't
tough
know.
one. But
I
but
don't know.
back to evolution for a second. So, you know, how far back in time? That always perplexed me. How far back in time, right? There's a scale, there's a time scale. And I know that some people disprove, they say, well, creationists, it's only such a amount of time,
6,000 years.
right? But then there's the whole aspect of, how time is measured. Like,
Well, well, do you believe that science is 100% factual at this point?
can you guys hear me still? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah,
Couldn't
it
hear.
just freaked out for a second. I don't know.
So
It's
I,
I
I
crazy.
think I think that especially the day that we're in, I was thinking about this a little bit earlier in a different way, but the farther you want to dive into something, the
Hmm.
less you're going to know about it.
Oh,
yeah,
you are
that's a good
so
point.
true. You
You
are
know?
100. I had a professor say that, and it didn't sink in when he first said that. And then
Yeah.
over time, it started to really sink in. And I'm like, I confronted him and I go, now I get it. He goes, it took you a while.
Dude, you can dive in layer upon layer, but it's yeah. Peel that onion back, dude, and it gets
Well,
weird.
the reason I asked the question, I think I saw this a long time ago. This is about 30 years ago, 20 years ago. And they had these people that wanted to prove that the carbon dating wasn't true. And I was like, well, how are you going to prove carbon dating is not true? Brilliant. There's 3 volcanoes. One was Mount St. Helena. I remember that because I remember when that happened in the 80s, right? And then another 2, Mount St. Helena was in the 80s, so it was 20 or 30 years ago. And the other one was like 50 years ago, and the other one was like 120 years ago. They went over, cracked a couple rocks, brought them to the carbon dating system. And the carbon dating system, they didn't tell them where the rocks came from. We want you to date these rocks. The Mount St. Helena was 50 years old when it was supposed to be 20 years old. The other one that was 50 years old was 150 years old. And then
Mm.
the one that was 120 years old was end up being like 500 or 800 years old.
Mm.
It was like, and then they said that the variable between it's
Yeah, they
between
give a window.
500 and 800 years, and it was 120. It wasn't in the time frame that they said, but they did say something that was very interesting. That the 20-year-old one, it was off by 30 years. The other one was equally off the farther it went back, and the other one was
Mm.
equally off.
So
So
the margin of error was the same kind of for each one?
no, like the distance they were off was
Right.
was
That's kind
was
of what I'm saying, though. The margin from like what we
the
thought it
distance
was
they
to
were
what it
off
is
was
for each
relatable to
one.
the distance between them.
Right, right.
Does that make sense?
Um,
So if you were to see the one and saw it was 20 years off, and there was 120, it'd be 200 years off. Does that make sense?
yeah.
The 100-year off would be 200 years off. So they noticed that there was a pattern of how far they were off. I thought that was cool. Now, and then after that, I'm not saying I don't believe him, but it's all a theory until you prove it. Until we find the time machine and go back to see Jesus Christ and
This
go
is the
back to see
prove
the
it
chromatum
thing.
tail
This is a really weird argument to have
and
for
put
a
the
religious
chainsaw on your
person.
arm.
Bruce Campbell.
That's a really
Bruce Campbell.
weird argument to have from a religious person. Until you can
How
prove it.
so?
Until you can prove it. Until you can prove it. What happened to the doubting Thomas guy? What happened to all that?
He was proven.
But I'm saying he
Put
doubted.
the finger in the hole.
He doubted because he didn't see it.
Dude, he saw it. He saw it. You're not getting this. So he saw
you're not
everything.
getting it.
He saw everything. He saw Jesus is doing what he did, brought back people from the dead, walked on water, healed the sick
What
and
did he
blind.
say about it too? He said, "Blessed be to those who don't need to see to believe."
That was Jesus, though, not
Right.
Thomas.
So Jesus is telling you that you don't need to believe it to see it. You're telling me that you won't believe it until you prove it.
So yes, now and here's I get you, I get you. But see, God's proved Himself in my life. I ask for things that are impossible.
It's just a weird argument to make. I think you want it both ways.
No, so once he proved Himself to me, I know He's there, right? And I've seen miracles, dude. I've seen miracles.
Fine, but it's just
my,
weird.
My aunt, a perfect example,
and I'll believe it.
Well, he proved it. He proved it right.
No, you prove it, and I'll believe it.
Well, I can't prove it.
I know, that's my point.
He can prove it to you. I can't. He proved it to me.
No, but it's the same thing with the dating of things and everything else. Like, a lot of this can't be proven,
Well, there's evidence up to a point, right? There's evidence up to a point. The thing is, though, there's a theory. It's called standing too close to the elephant. Okay. You're standing so close to an elephant that you don't even realize, or we'll use hippopotamus. Standing so close to a hippopotamus that you don't, that all you see is maybe its rump, a little section of its rump. You don't realize it's an entire creature. And I think a lot of us walking the earth are only seeing a little bit of things and making suppositions around it. There's a larger thing going on. There's
a whole thing of asking a question at a human level and trying to answer.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. No, you're right. That's how you get
into that.
Right. That thing I sent you guys earlier that talked about talking to people and building perspective and understanding. That's very key. But Carl Sagan said that, maybe we were created to try to understand the universe or our surroundings, like you ask yourself, okay, from a biblical standpoint, why did God bother to create us to begin with? It's a very perplexing concept. It's very, very, very perplexing. And, as Christians, you think to yourself, okay, once I die, things will be revealed to me. That's kind of the thing, but it's
the hope.
That's the hope, but there's no evidence, tangible evidence.
Tangible is one thing.
And for personal sake, from a personal perspective, but you're right. There's our Bible. I understand that. No,
right.
I know.
And there's people that have been there. Now, yeah, I've been diving deep to people. There's near-death experiences all over TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, and there's near-death experiences everywhere. And these people that have died, they've seen things that they can't explain, and then they come back. And you know what the reoccurring thing? There's 3 reoccurring things I know about everybody to the good. There's good side and bad side, just so you know. So the good side, the 3 reoccurring themes that most people regurgitate are they don't want to come back.
Light.
The color, there's more colors on that side because with our eyes we can only see certain color spectrums.
Right.
And that everybody over there is made of beings of light.
There we go to light again.
Well, it's not helping. It's not helping the cause because I can't disprove the
well,
light.
I'm not saying it's wrong. Here we are back in the light camp again.
Brian, what are your thoughts on life after death? Or not life after death. Somebody that supposedly died and then came back with a story. Do you think it's the brain going, is it a physiological effect, or do you think there's something more to that? What are your thoughts?
Spirit related.
Because I know we've talked about multi-dimensions and things of that nature, and
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
mathematically proven.
Yeah. I think they think there's like 10 dimensions, and spirits
Oh,
are
there's more.
real.
There's more
Yeah,
than 10.
yeah, probably.
More?
Yeah, me. Oh, yeah.
I'm having a
Michio
hard time
Kaku.
with 4.
Dr. Michio Kaku wrote a book I read that
Oh boy.
actually goes in depth, and it blows your mind. Like I felt like I was
John,
a grade schooler
Is
in
he
in a
is he
in a
going through
lecture hall.
string theory to get there?
So okay, let's talk about string
String
theory.
theory is
He
weird.
he did contribute to string theory research, but he does he talks about things. I saw him speak one time in Chicago, which was really compelling, and he talked about, how like in the future what we can expect things to happen, and he did talk about
Nostradamus.
quantum computers way back when. He did, and I give him credit because to me, we're talking about the past, right? And
Mhm.
he's the type of person that's actually thinking ahead, like, and it's coming true. It's crazy because he brought up this thing about putting a contact in your eye where you'll be able to like have your Alexa in your eye. But he talked about this a long time ago, before Alexa was even a thing or anything, and it was
Well,
crazy. And
even the
now
old
it's happening.
sci-fi movies used to do this in a way. They would come out with some concepts that kind of come up later or whatever.
That is true. Star Trek for sure. Yeah.
Star Wars had some, Star Trek
Scotty,
had
Star
beat me
some.
up.
Wars.
This place sucks.
So speaking on religion, I want to get to this before you gotta go. So speaking on religion, let's see.
This is a good one, guys. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
It's always good with you here, John.
My
So I
brain
went
is
over the
like wobbling.
capitalism. Uh, seems to largely be opposite of what the religion offers or proposes. The individual versus the collective. How we romanticize the individual, right? But
hmm
lone wolves just die. And she said, and yet people mock religion when its singular message is the greater good, the whole, that collective. We cannot win if we do not stand together despite differences, beliefs, etc. Call it what you will. Stoics, probably Stoics, religion, whatever the message across time is the same. Talking about the unity among the collective, basically. But isn't
Yeah,
that at odds with capitalism?
no,
Really?
no, absolutely. What? How do you figure that?
Because
Like,
capitalism says everybody's out for themselves. Everybody,
no,
it
absolutely,
breeds that. It breeds that, though.
no, it doesn't. How you can't have capitalism as individual society.
Brian, what's the one most important asset that a business can possibly have
It's
today?
people.
Right.
Correct. So how can capitalism exist without people?
Well,
Soylent
because
Green is people.
I, I,
Great
because
question, John.
life. Well, besides the collective, life is a solo sport.
Well, so you were talking. Who was talking about once you get out of a society, there was like certain death back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So society is paramount, right? For growth. People can. I can be in the middle of nowhere, and if the land isn't taxed, I can go build a house and survive, right?
maybe.
No, not maybe. And I'm smart enough to not go where there's fucking cold, where I'm gonna freeze to death. I'd be in South Carolina somewhere, right? In the middle of nowhere where I know there's food and I know there's water.
Well, we just talked a minute ago about how mosquitoes have killed more people than anybody throughout history. So they might want to go to the cold. I'm
Fair
just
point.
saying.
Fair point. But what I'm saying is I could have lived a long enough life to procreate.
Maybe.
Don't go around stagnant water.
Even see things like this.
Don't
You
go to
get cut. You
Africa.
have an infection. Do you know how to fix that?
Certain plants.
You know? You know which ones they are? Do you know where to find
No,
them?
but I'm gonna have a book and I'm gonna have my phone. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I don't have a
right.
phone.
See, this is where things get complicated.
Things are
Why it was a
complicated.
death sentence?
Nothing's easy.
Well, that's why it was a
Nothing's
death
easy.
sentence, though, because in a real tribe, you have the medicine man, the hunter, you have the farmer, you have everybody kind of has their piece.
Here's the thing, though. Can I run this by you too? I really, really want to hear this from both of you.
Uh-oh.
Sports, the necessity of sports, and the idea of gravitating towards a team and wearing the same team colors and investing yourself into sports and stuff. I've got friends that are fanatics about certain sport, like
I used to be.
fanatical.
I used to be.
No, I mean I do enjoy like go to like a baseball game or a football game or something. I get that, but like then is it really necessary? Is it a key attribute, or is that part of the societal
Mm.
cultural
Well,
puzzle piece?
we're tribal animals, and we don't have a chance to do the camaraderie. Most people don't get a chance for
Right.
that camaraderie.
But going back to what you said about the individualist and that whole concept of, and not concept, that whole
See?
idea of,
See how individual we are, that when we get a chance to be collective, we just can't help ourselves?
is that what you're saying? Because that sounds really good. It sounds like no, it sounds like you've come to a conclusion. You know what I mean? Like you're
Kind of.
postulating that might be
You know
the
what this
truth,
says
right?
to me? Like, whether you, I said this before on X, but I said every man wants what the core provides.
Okay. I'm running some instances in my brain. I can see what you're saying now.
And
Yeah.
the core, I mean the Marine Corps, obviously, right?
I was thinking CORE, like
No,
the
I'm thinking
core.
CORPS,
Well, no, I get that. I was thinking more core, like as in societal
as
core.
in the center group kind of thing.
Yes, yeah,
No,
like yeah,
core is in Marine Corps.
like the and I totally missed that point then.
Yeah, yeah. So but in this light, with the collective of the tribal of the teams, every man wants what the core provides, but nobody really gets
Oh,
that.
yeah. Okay, now that you said it
The
again and it
camaraderie
reframed
thing,
it.
right?
I was thinking more like, you know, um,
Because there's no other where. How many places in society can you touch that if you're not enlisted?
say that one more time. Go ahead,
So
expand on that a second.
say every man wants what the core provides, meaning like belonging, purpose, team,
Oh, sure.
people, loyalty,
Yeah,
people that have your back.
yeah, yeah,
You know, there's key elements that you'll never find a brotherhood outside of there like there, that
I
kind of
know.
thing.
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
So in that way, you have sports that try to fill these voids, but they don't.
yeah. No, I agree. But do we need them?
Absolutely not. This is bread and circus. That's all this shit is.
Well put, man. Well put.
I don't know.
It's bread and circus. It's a morale boost for fucking people that have no
I,
direction in
I,
life.
I don't know, man. Why
What's
for
that
every
old Victor
society has there
Frankl line?
been
He
some
said,
kind of crazy sports? Do you ever hear the Mayans?
that's the old
The
Victor
Mayan sport?
Frankl line. Remember Victor Frankl? He says, when men don't have purpose, they busy themselves with pleasure.
This one wasn't pleasure.
The
So
mind sport
I
where
went to one of the Mayan temples. Did I tell you about
yeah.
this one?
I'm familiar with what you're going to say, but go ahead. Go ahead. This is good.
Brian, have you heard this? This is psychopath. This is psychopath. I went to a cruise, and one of the excursions was the Machu Picchu or
Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu,
There
and
you
went
go.
to Machu Picchu, right?
No shit.
Yeah, I went to Machu Picchu, and this was crazy, dude.
That's the one with the big open forum, right?
Right? You know what the
Dude,
open
I
forum
was
was for?
looking at this recently just for the communication aspect.
Okay. So it was really cool. You stand at a certain area and clap your hands, and you hear a reverb from the tower, and that's where they had sacrifices and stuff like
yeah.
that. These guys were psychopaths. The Mayans died out. Gee, I wonder why. Here, let me explain why. They had a sporting event with other tribes, right? And the captain of a team would have two captains, and then they would have like, I'm not kidding, it's like a basketball. It's a stone circle, and the hole is about this big, bolted on the side of a wall, not flat like this, but this way. And they would play a game that they'd hit with their shoulders and their knees, and they couldn't use their hands or feet, with a rubber ball, right? And the one that would go through that would get it through that hole, the team that won, the captain of the team gets sacrificed. And I go, dude, wait a minute. I thought I misunderstood. I thought I misunderstood the dude. I go, excuse me. I think you misspoke. I don't think you know English enough
You got rid of your
to
best
say
and
that the
brightest? What are you
winning
doing?
team's captain got beheaded. He
Yep.
goes, yeah. And I went, that is what you're trying to say. One more time. The winning guy went through the thing. He died.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yep.
yeah. And they had the captain's names underneath that tower.
Well, that was the best sacrifice they think they could give, I guess.
So
Yeah.
and they willingly went. It's like they were, and you wonder why the society just died out.
That is not why. That would have been why
Dude,
they
that
kicked
is,
ass.
if you're killing people for no reason,
That they felt there was a reason, but you figure every other dude is kind of like that dude. So
Did you
there
ever
go.
see Apocalypto? The movie
Yeah,
Apocalypto?
that was crazy. That was crazy.
Ugh.
no napalm in the morning for me.
No,
you're
not
talking
Apocalypse.
now.
No,
Apocalypto was based off of what Michael was talking about, but more. It was really amazing. It's a great movie.
It was right after it was Mel Gibson's movie right after The Passion of Christ.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
That's why I saw it. And I was like, that
Yeah.
was crazy movie. That was a crazy movie.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Are we getting off topic, Brian? You trying to keep
Little
us
bit.
squirrels in a cage?
We've been off topic the whole time, haven't we, Brian?
What topic?
Yeah, right.
I'm
But
sorry.
this is about the collective and the singular, right?
Right.
So
right,
saying it's
right,
been the
right.
same message across time through the religion, through the everything else. And she was kind of promoting the collective, but I said, well, they mock it for good reason. And there's this guy I love, Eric Holford, come out with this great thing. Says every cause begins as a movement, becomes a business, and eventually degenerates into a racket. And I can't find one that actually goes contrary to this, including religion, including societies, including fucking whatever, dude.
So you think all the religions are rackets right now?
Yeah, kind of.
Sorry you believe that.
Well, you do too. You just are more loyal to the overarching
I don't think they're rackets.
message. What?
My definition. What's your
Why are they
definition
asking
of a
for
racket?
money? Why are they
Huh?
asking for money then? Why are they asking for money?
Well,
And then she
good
says,
because money is needed in this world.
only if we allow it to. There is always another way. And then it said, all cycles end. And history always repeats. To which I finished it off with Twain lines. That in the beginning of change, the patriot is a scarce man and brave, and hated and scorned. When his cause succeeds, the timid join him, for then it costs nothing to be a patriot. That's kind of the boat we're in now. You know, everybody's demonizing nationalism. Here too, but more so like in Europe and stuff, right? It's been going on for a long time. How many American flags you gonna see burned before it's like this is over? Oh no.
Well, the beauty of our country is the freedom to burn a flag.
I don't know if that's the beauty, but
It is. I really know that it is the beauty of this country. It really sincerely is.
I came out with something a little while back. Said, all right, we're the land of the free. All right, we'll give you one free flag. After that, 10 years minimum.
So I forgot what President John helped me out with this. One of the presidents said it best. He goes, for you, your opponent to say the most vile and disgusting things that he can say, I will protect his right to say that with my life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the key to freedom of speech and freedom of thought. That
That's the
because
whole ACLU right there, right?
if you hold up a sign that said no war in 2022 in Russia, you were thrown in jail. If you held up a sign that was blank, you were thrown in jail. In other words, the incarceration, that's the difference between the United States. We can protest, legally protest. And in other countries, you're incarcerated for as long as they want to incarcerate you.
You mean like
So that is a
Canada?
freedom. That is a
Canada.
freedom here. But my
You mean like
parents, if I can
Canada?
share this, they behaved in a way. We always flew an American flag, and I do too, all the time. There's one on my garage right now, always, because when they left that anarchist
Country.
society, that it basically to them that was prison, and here it was freedom, and this is like the greatest country on the planet Earth.
Who's they and what anarchist society are you meaning?
They grew up, unfortunately, they were born in the Soviet society in Ukraine that was it was imperialistic.
Oh, okay.
Did I say anarchist? What did I
Yeah,
what was
yeah.
I? Oh, did I
Threw me
say
off.
anarchist? I'm sorry. I meant to say
A dictator kind of deal.
yeah,
You can
I'm
call it whatever.
I'm at a
Socialism,
loss.
Dictator?
dictatorship, whatever.
Oh yeah,
A
loss of words
dictator
there.
society?
Well, it's basically it's a fear-mongering society. It's where if you do something wrong, if you say something wrong, you're thrown in jail, and you may or may not reappear. And can you
It's like,
imagine living?
Have you
Put
heard?
yourself. Yeah.
Have you heard where you're saying it where other people hear it? I heard that in England,
yep.
these people were outside of an abortion clinic praying, and they went to jail.
Nice.
Not speaking out loud.
When was this?
Recently.
I
Can't
didn't
pray
see
near an
anything.
abortion clinic.
They had some messed up cases over in England, dude. There's thousands and thousands of people that have been getting thrown in jail for just saying stuff online that isn't even that crazy.
There's this one guy, I keep forgetting his name. He's a skinny guy with black hair, and God, I wish I remember his name.
Constantine?
Constantine. Thank you.
He's my dude. That dude is the real
he's
deal.
Sharp. He goes,
he's sharp.
He was on a podcast, and he goes, how many people in Russia got thrown in jail for things they said?
Yeah.
And they go, what do you think? What do you think?
Dude didn't want to answer that question either.
Hundreds. He goes, you're right. 300 people last year got thrown in jail for things they said in Russia. Now, how many people got thrown in jail in England, in the UK? And the guy goes, I don't know, 50.
He did not want to answer that question.
3,000 people were jailed for things they said on social media.
Yep.
Called hate speech.
You know why it was? I promise you both that I'm going to say this real quickly, that it would be a much higher number, but those people are taught to say nothing. England, this is new. This is something new.
It's that tall poppy syndrome.
I'm telling you, the entire society knows if you say something, you go to jail.
Caste system is what it is.
It's worse than caste system.
No, it's because it's based in the caste thing, but it's that tall poppy syndrome. You ever heard of the tall poppy syndrome, Michael?
Mm-mm.
It's basically a farming verbiage. Are you aware of it, John?
I've heard of it, but please continue.
So basically, when the poppies get tall enough, then they cut them down, but they only cut the ones that are tall enough. And they use this as people who want to try to stick their head up and try to say something or be something that society deems them not to be. So the caste system cuts them down so they don't rise above. Like people are okay with you rising in the tree until you rise higher than them. That kind of thing.
Okay. If I may, please, I'm gonna.
Yeah, go ahead.
So two things, really important things. One is in Japan, and I think we talked about this way back when, the nail that sticks up gets pounded down. Same concept, right?
It's kind of like
You're
that.
Right. The other thing too, do you know what the root word of Slavic is? Why people are called Slavics or Slavs?
Well,
the root word is
slave.
That's the root word for slave.
Yeah, they were the original slaves.
Cultures were deemed Slavic, which is in like the Mongols. It's like, well, you're called a Slavic. That's like saying the word slave. It is the word saying slave. I mean, think about it. Like you said, the mentality. But then in England, you're saying that this is occurring now, where they're being jailed, and they're going to learn quickly to shut.
Praying for not what you're saying. For praying outside of an abortion clinic.
Also for what you're saying, but
they're going to quickly learn not to say anything.
By praying, you're saying something.
Well, they can't. There's so many memes I could show you on X right now. It'd be like, yeah, how's it going? And I'm like, oh, I can't complain. And be like, oh, that's nice. It's like, no, I really can't complain, or I'll go to
I
jail.
really
Brian.
No, I really can't complain.
Oh shoot, that's funny. I got to
I'm in
use
England,
that.
sad, and they just imported all those immigrants over there too. It's a mess.
Dude,
But
it is a mess.
so
And
that
you know
tall
what? We
poppy
get this.
syndrome, it leans into like this caste system, like a low class, mid class, high class, and the same way that people love to come to America because in one generation's time you can make something of yourself, as to where in a typical older system it needs to be like 2-3 generations before you can be of nobility or whatever the fuck, because
Yeah,
they
that's
kind of checks and balance they kind of check each other. But it's that pessimistic bullshit is what it really is, because I've seen some UK dudes come over here, and the thing that they seem to love the most is that we root for people to win. I know it doesn't seem like that if you look on the news, but typically American way is hey, you go, motherfucker. That was awesome. Do it again. Let's do it bigger next time. This, that, and the other. As to where over there, be like, who do you think you are? It's a completely different mindset.
Over there, you have there's some generational aspects there, because my cousins that live in England, it's like their father immigrated there. My family immigrated there, and some of them stayed there. They'll never be regarded as anything ever, ever. And in
It's a
fact,
caste
where they
system.
live is predominantly an Indian. There's a lot of Indian residents, and
area.
they will not be regarded as anything there too. And there's a big
Mm.
deal. They're very racial in terms of Indian
Most
people,
places
even as.
are.
But I get that. And the thing that people forget is that slavery was in England too. And it was pretty vibrant in England too. And it's
Yeah.
like there's these things that you can tamp down historically. It's really amazing. It's like you said, the more you deep dive, the more you start going, like, which way's up? You kind of lose your compass for a little bit.
Another one of these onion layers. You peel it back. The further you go, you're like, I don't know what's what anymore.
History
So
isn't
I heard,
always fiction, nonfiction.
Well, it's
I
his
heard a
story.
crazy factoid. They said that there's more slaves now in the world than there was back in the 1800s.
Yep, more than ever,
And the
they
worst
say.
part is 50% of them are sex slaves right now.
That's terrible. But it's largely because of the global population that they can say that.
But still, there's
it's
we're
still
talking about
terrible.
slaves in the past. There's
Yeah.
slaves today, and some of them are sex slaves.
Yeah,
And
well, a
that's
lot of
why I
them,
couldn't be
apparently.
and that's why I couldn't be a cop. I heard that there were 60 kids found in I don't know, it was Texas or Florida. They've been missing for a period of time, and they were being sex trafficked. If I was a cop and I found the dudes that had those kids and they admitted it, I would no longer be a cop. Do you know who the CIA target? You know who they're looking for?
Everybody.
Huh? They're looking for disorders. Right? They're looking for disorders. People that have anxiety ridden are great
for
investigators.
applicants, for people to
For
work at the
applicants.
CIA.
And he goes like this. This one guy said it. This one spy, everyday spy, says it best. He goes, everybody in the special forces are psychopaths.
Oh, special forces. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, every one of them psychopaths. And he goes, when you take the mission over your own body, that's the definition of a psychopath. So every disorder is put in their place in the CIA. Someone that's neurotic, they're information gatherers. Anybody that's a psychopath, they're the tier 1 forces.
What's
Then
the three closest
they know
friends?
what they're looking for. But with the difference between what John was saying, if someone, and they do come find, they do come say, hey, you're the perfect person for this job.
I don't think that's a good criteria.
Yeah, well,
what is the neurotic's 3 closest friends? Do you know?
No.
Do you know, John?
No, I'm waiting. I'm listening.
Waiting with bated breath.
Manic, frantic, and panic.
That's about right.
That's right.
Manic, frantic, and panic. Okay.
Yeah.
That is 100% true.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but the CIA uses it
as
to
your
sort
wife ages and she gets more neurotic, look forward to all that.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
We just took a turn for the worse here on our conversation.
I don't
I
know.
hope your wife's not listening, either of you.
Well, I mean, it's true. You could argue with it if you want, but it's true. I say this too. I say, late in life, men fight nihilism later in life, and women fight neuroticism.
Oof. Wow.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh.
You, sir, are a psychologist, psychiatrist now. You're hitting on some interesting points for sure.
It's true.
Brian
all the
has a
men I
lot to
know,
think
they
about.
fight nihilism. It's what is this? Why even do all this? Why? Who cares? I'm just gonna die.
Well, let me
Yeah.
run this by both of you for a
Needs
second.
screaming for this.
I heard this recently and it's been bothering me tremendously, and I want to see if it bothers you too. Someone said every single person on Earth that went bad, something caused that, and that we should have empathy towards what caused them to become that. Do you agree or not?
Hurt people.
Something caused them to be that way. And that same
Brian,
person, right? Let that settle for a second.
Hurt people.
That's a great question, John. John, that is a great question. That
bothers
me.
Question. And we're supposed to forgive what, 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times.
I can give you one on top of that.
So
go ahead,
Brian. What do you think?
I've heard somebody say before that every disappointed, or what is it? Every frustrated person is a disappointed idealist.
Don't disagree with that. But let's talk about what John said. What do you think?
Because they had this image of like what the world is supposed to be, and it's not living up to it, so they're slighted by it. So
they act
there's that.
out.
But what about the person?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, they're just. They said that I've heard somebody say that before, that every frustrated person like this was a disappointed idealist. Like they had the ideals in their head, or so they thought, but then the world turned out to be a different place, so they went dark, kind of thing. I think it's a crock of shit, but it's an interesting thought, because what it's trying to do, to me at least, is it's trying to justify the Canaanites, which is stupid. But
well, what do you think about the person that had an event that changed the trajectory of their life?
That's a changed person,
right? So what should we do with them?
Yeah, the offer is there. It's just some people are not going to change. And if you recognize who's who, you should fix it.
And you're saying there's one way to fix it.
And that's the discernment I talked about. And once you can discern who's who, fix it.
John,
Stop
what do you
waiting
think?
for permission. Stop waiting to hold hands with somebody over it.
So when I interned at a hospital before becoming a clinical engineer, they handed me a medical device, and I looked at it and I went, is this what I think it is? They're like, yes, we used to be a psychiatric hospital. It's called an ECT device, electroconvulsive therapy.
Shock therapy?
It's supposed to, it sends voltage this way and then switches polarity. So basically, think of a chalkboard, and it's like, I go, why would you do that to a human being? And they said that there are people that benefit from it. It changes, it brings them back down. In other words, like you said, violent thoughts and this, that, and the other. And and it's not really it's kind of like one doctor told me one time, some surgeries, some procedures are the best we have to deal with the problem. There's nothing better. This is the best we could do.
Like lobotomies?
Like lobotomies, like putting stents in a heart, There's
well, I think a lobotomy, like the Kennedy girl. Remember the Kennedy girl?
Which one?
She got a lobotomy because she was too wild, and then they basically brain deaded her.
Oh, jeez. I'm thinking, I think
I
heard about it.
50s or something.
Yeah, back in the 70s.
Something, yeah. They
So is that the way
fucking
to
took
treat these
pieces of
people?
her brain out till she started responding differently, and then they're like, "Uh-oh, we went too far."
Jesus.
Like,
Oh
Jesus
God.
Christ, dude.
Turn it
What is
up.
it? What is it, Michael? Measure twice, cut once.
Measure
Measure
twice,
twice,
cut
cut
once.
once. Yeah. But they
Oh
do
So,
Lord.
wicked shit to
John,
people
I
trying
would
to get
say
results.
I would say it a little bit. I would say a little bit of both. What I would say is fix the people that can be fixed, and then eliminate the product that can't be fixed.
Yeah, but see, you run into this Christian wall of forever tolerance.
What Christian? Whoa, whoa! Did you read the book?
Oh, I'm just looking at gay pastors. Don't mind me.
Did you read the book?
Right.
Did the
Did
church
you
read
read
the
the?
book when
Did
they
you read
allowed
the?
gay pastors? I
Did
don't
you
know.
read the first part?
Oh,
Did
the
you read
one
the
that
first part?
the Old Testament that nobody wants to care about because it's not convenient
Yeah,
anymore?
that one. The one that said eye for an eye and tooth for tooth.
Oh, the Jew book. You want to go off the Jew book now?
The one, yeah, the one that God wrote.
Isn't
The
the
God
second
wrote.
one
You
a
know,
Jew
hey,
book
listen,
also?
take this. Yeah, they are both Jewish books. Yeah,
Well,
that's a
kind
good
of. It's an
point.
offshoot, though. He felt like he had to make his own, obviously.
No, I really need to understand your idea of Christianity. Christianity is crucified
It's
people.
weak.
You know,
That's what
I
I
don't know
say.
what you're talking. They're talking about crucifixions the whole time. I just
You
listened
can
to
talk
how
about
all the
whatever you
12
want.
disciples died after that.
What I
Oh,
see is that they're
brutal.
allowing gay people to get married in the church. They're just calling it a union. I see all these things.
So what you're saying is there's bad salesmen. So God has a bunch of
No, I'm
salesmen.
saying they allow things. They're the king of tolerance.
Yeah, but if you make a church and then you allow it, who's at fault?
Well, I assume that this is a collective of churches. It's not just like
No,
one off doing its
that's
own
where you're
thing.
mistaken. There's
Is it
no
franchised or are these individually owned?
no. Anybody can start a church, can call it a Christian church, and it's really not biblically sound.
Okay, well, where do you go to church where women are not to be talking in the pews?
Who said they're not
Amish
supposed to be talking in the
church.
pews? Really? There you go. There you go.
No, it's in the book.
Is
Apparently,
Amish a subset of Christianity?
Yeah,
I think
it
it's more
is.
like what do they
It's
call those?
Quakers. There's Quakers,
Mormonites.
Quaker. There you go,
Puritans,
Quaker.
Quakers.
Yeah.
Puritans. They're modern day Puritans, really. I mean, I don't want to misspeak, but I think that's the impression I have. But a lot of people, that whole thing about, you know, the Bible, I think if it's all about structure, right? Because I mean, think about it. My mom was a homemaker. My dad went to the steel mill and worked. They were the typical, that's the way society was, and that's the way society
Backbone
was
of
then,
America.
right? Nowadays, it's
Mm.
different. It's different. Both people work, and so on and so forth.
That's a whole can of
Do you
worms.
guys?
That's a whole can of worms.
It's a whole can.
Both people working. Oh my god, dude! I could talk about that for the next hour.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept. You know,
But okay,
come-
you want to talk about how tolerant the church is? Feminism is incompatible with Christianity.
agreed.
No, that's
How
not.
many
No, that's not
feminists?
entirely true.
That is
Because
so
if you
true.
look,
That is so
so no,
true.
Ooh,
no.
we got a good one.
If
We
you
got a good one.
look in scripture, there are
Okay.
prominent female figures that
That's
actually.
fine.
What's that?
That's fine. It was man, woman, child, right?
Let's talk about gender roles though.
Family.
Yeah, there's a lot of women in the Bible, but what is the Bible's main theme of gender roles? Ooh, as a hush runs over the crowd. I had a nerve. I did. So what I see in the Bible is, the man's supposed to take care of the wife, and it says that in Corinthians too.
Supposed to love your
The man's
wife,
supposed to,
right? Yeah, go ahead.
as Jesus loved the church,
Correct.
and the woman is supposed to love their husband like they love God. And
It's symbiotic.
the really interesting concept of a lot of that we use in the vows today is, this is crazy that it was 2000. It was over 2,000 years ago. This is the crazy part. Men are supposed to love their woman like Christ loved the church. Women are supposed to respect the man. Women aren't supposed to love the man. They're supposed to respect the man. And women today don't respect their men.
That's a fact.
And men have a hard time loving that kind of woman.
Well, I could go deeper and say, kind of resolved to this thing that says submission is the only game in town. So you either submit or you go find your own protection.
Well, women are supposed to submit to their man.
Yeah.
And
but you
men
know,
are supposed men are supposed to die for their women. So women have to find a man worth submitting to, and a man has to find a woman they're willing to die for.
Well,
Correct.
yeah, we could
There
talk
you
about
go.
shit.
But that's not what's going on now.
Right. We could talk about shit men too if you want, but I'm just saying
No,
here.
what I'm saying is the good book wrote this before 2,000 years ago.
Well,
And it's prevalent the whole time and today.
I'll give you one line from really even before all of this that encapsulates it all. This is the pithy.
Oh,
Once
Jesus,
equal to man, woman becomes his superior.
No.
Ooh, where'd you hear that?
Socrates.
Nah, he was wrong.
He's good, but no, that's not true.
He's good.
I
He was
completely
wrong.
get it, and I completely agree.
How?
Because if woman is superior to man,
You said equal.
No, when woman becomes superior. Oh, sorry. You're right.
Yeah. Maybe
when
you made this
woman
wrong.
becomes equal to man, she becomes his superior.
That's not it. That's not it.
Because a man's brain, the way it works is because we're to serve. Our head needs to be focused on God, as Jesus would put it, right? We can't be equals with her because then no, hold on. It fucks our heads all up because the structure is different.
No, but that's a false premise. The false premise is that if women are equal to men, they're superior. It's either women are superior to men, equal to men, or subordinate to men.
Well, we make them superior once they're equal, is what he's saying.
That's not equal then.
Correct. That's the point.
You're killing me, Small.
Once made equal because they want this equality thing, right?
We're not equal. We're not the same.
I know
equal means
that.
the same.
I know that, but the world doesn't think a lot like that right now. I'll tell you that. Like you said, there's no woman that wants to submit to no man no more, and no man is finding any woman worth dying for. So I guess we'll just go extinct. Who knows?
I respectfully disagree. And why I say that, everybody says there isn't any. I got a buddy of mine that has a girl that is.
Oh, you can't say any about anything.
Well,
but,
what I'm saying is there's more out there than you think. I was talking to my buddy,
sure.
and I would say John's daughter is worth dying for. She is an amazing woman, and his son is worth submitting to. Chris and I don't know, maybe we shouldn't name names, but John's son and daughter are worth dying for and submitting for easily. And my other partner in my business partner in Michigan, he's got an amazing daughter, an amazing son, and they both love God. One's a Christian, one's a Catholic, and I'm just like, these are people that are happening right now. And then everybody says, I hear everybody saying that there are no good people out there, and all I'm seeing is great people.
They're saying that because that's their bubble. That's their little world they see.
Well, either they're not worthy to submit to, or either they're not.
That too. Probably some of that too.
So those are the ones that are talking the most. That's what I'm trying to illustrate.
But I bet
those are the ones that have the loudest voices right now.
I bet that the women worth dying for aren't feminists.
I don't think they are. I saw two girls today on a TikTok. This one girl was talking that, what should a guy make to date you? And this one girl goes, I got a boyfriend. He makes $30,000 a year. And the other girl's like, oh, that's not. He's got to make $100,000 a year. You got to buy a ring for me. You got to do this.
There you go.
And there's two girls out there. I guarantee you, the one that was talking about, having six figures and taking care of the girl and buying her everything and being submissive to her. And then there's the girl that the boyfriend doesn't have a car. He makes $30,000. She takes care of him and she loves him. She goes, I'm sticking with him, even though he doesn't have a car. He doesn't have that. That's a great woman. Those girls will be married. The other ones will be not.
How many of these What's the percent of these relationships that will go the distance?
So around 50%. Well, okay, this is a crazy stat for you. Here's a crazy stat for you.
What?
So 50% of marriages end in divorce. So there's 50% are heterosexual. I think it's 80% or 75 or 80, 77% of lesbian relationships end in divorce.
Yeah, they're all miserable.
25% of gay relationships end in divorce.
You know, they don't have any women around. They're happy.
They're happy.
They can maintain happy.
The answer to your question is it's all individually based.
No, I'm saying though, okay, you want to play the marriage game, the submit game. What's the percentage of a success rate that'll go the distance of this thing that is supposedly ideal?
So it is ideal. And John, do you agree with me? Marriage to a good girl, a good woman is worth the woman's weight in gold.
And what's the percentage chance that you'll find one and it'll go the distance?
It's
right
a
now,
behavior.
50%.
It's a behavioral thing. You have to learn to accept each other. If the people that don't learn to accept each other for what they are, they're the ones that separate and leave. And
That's just the beginning. That's just the beginning.
Speaking of separation, I think I need to head out, gentlemen. I appreciate
It's a
both
great
of you
segment for John having to take off.
Yeah,
you're
it
talking
is,
about wives,
because
and
your number was 50. Your number was 50, and mine is 2.
2? Yeah, you're off.
I think marriage is made for about 2% of the population.
I'm gonna go retain
Respectfully
my marriage.
disagree.
I'm gonna go retain my marriage.
You go do that, John. Peace out.
I appreciate you. I
Love
appreciate you both.
Take care, brother.
Love you guys too, man. Talk to you soon. Peace and
yes, sir. Drive
keep
safe.
it
Tell the wife I
going,
said
man.
hi.
Keep it going. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
2% just for you. See, I don't want to get John in trouble, man.
Where do you come up with that stat from? I'm coming up with stats all over the place. You're just saying of your personal experience, correct?
Partly.
Yeah. You're in a tough place right now. It's
50% off the top. You think about that old Chris Rock line where he says, 50% leave, but how many cowards stay?
How many cowards stay?
How many people stay that don't want to, but just it's comfortable, or I don't want to do it all over again, or it's cheaper to keep her, or name a goddamn thing. The divorce is too expensive. I'm doing it for the kids. How many of those remain? Because those end up, eventually you're going to get resentment out of those, and then people are going to get bitter, and then it's going to go sour. How long they can withhold it, either for the kids or for whatever, is a whole nother topic. But I'm saying once you throw off 50, all those reasonings, I'm like, man, this is made for like 2% of the people out there. And when he was saying that there's you find this, you find that, I'm like, yeah, but that's also just the beginning, because people change over time. The only constant in life is change. Rogan hit on this in a good one a while back. He said, hopefully you get lucky enough to get in a boat with somebody who's committed to like growing as a person. That's really the big one, because so many people get with somebody and then I heard Goggins, I think it was, talking about this yesterday, talking about his situation. But he was like, and you're in a relationship with somebody, and you're trying to grow, and it's like you're dragging them. And it's like you're trying to drag them, like they just don't want to go where you're going. That happens too. Maybe they're afraid of the success. Maybe they're afraid of like what happens when we get all this money. Maybe the thing, pick the thing, you know?
It's always fear-based. Always fear-based.
That's what a neurotic does, by the way. I already explained that to you.
But it's all whenever somebody's afraid of something, it's fear-based. Everybody's not afraid.
Okay. Let me run on this even further, because now you have this feminist movement, this feminazi movement, I call it, because it's not about equality at all.
About domination. Well, let's define femininity today. Today is 2025.
Femininity today or feminism?
Feminism today.
Well, I say feminazi today because that's where I see it.
I'm not going to disagree with you on
It
that.
used to be.
But
It started out. It
in the
was about equality,
70s,
and
the
as we go
70s and
along,
80s,
it's not about equality anymore. Now it's about supremacy.
correct. They want
And
and women will want their cake and eat it too. Men will want their cake and
everybody
eat it
wants
too.
that, but it's not
Everybody
realistic.
wants that. So women want the equality of equal pay and equal take care of us, we'll take care of you kind of thing. And then they want the gender roles to stay the same. They want the guy to pay on the first date. They want the
Can't
guy to
happen.
protect him.
Can't happen.
Well, that's not equality.
Well, as they see it, it is. It's like, what do you mean? I was doing
It's
what you
not.
were just doing.
It's
Why
not.
can't I have what you had? All that shit, right?
Well, you can work as much as me, and you can make as much as me, and you can work out as much as me, but you'll never be able to defend me.
Well, the thing is they tried to flip the shit, is what they did. They tried to what they value us for, they wanted us to value them for, and that's not how it works.
Yeah, they want
They want the money and stuff. They want to flip it, but you can't flip it because men don't respond to the shit that women respond to.
They think we want from them what they want from us.
Exactly.
They're
want shopping their own lens. They're shopping.
Yes. They're looking at it from a different portal. And everybody says it. This one girl said it goes, I got the job, I got the education, I got everything. And then my husband said, I want
men
none of
care
that.
about it.
Yeah. And the one guy said it best, guys want to, I want a high value guy. So I want to be put together. So when he comes, I'm put together. Well, what do you consider put together? Oh, I have my job, have my house, have my income, have all this stuff. And he goes, this one guy said it best. He goes, well, what if you meet a guy that has this amazing sneaker collection? And he takes you into this room of his house and it's 20 by 30, all shoes everywhere on each wall. And the cabinets are made out of cherry with glass on them. And this is the Nike, and this is the Jordans. This is one from Ireland, and this is one from the Arabic nations. And there's this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And they got the Ayrton, got this, and this, and this, and this. And then the girl said, I don't give a shit about the shoe collection. That's how we care about your job.
Right. Well, that's
what he was trying to explain to her.
They try to shop for men like we shop for women, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't even apply to the same shit. I've said this on X before, but I said the fry girl can get a throne if she's got it going on.
Right.
Men don't look at women for money at all.
You know why?
We want beauty, vitality, good energy.
Why?
All these
femininity.
They're looking.
And they
that's
want
what it kind of is. They're trying to take on this masculine role while still having a masculine man, which is
unattractive to us.
You just can't do it. And this is another reason why I say that feminism and Christianity are incompatible. Because they're trying to take the lead dog role. You can't have the lead dog role. You can have it by yourself.
You can have it by yourself.
Or you can have it with some beta male who's going to hate his life and maybe in a few years.
Well, I've seen a lot of those. I've seen a lot of those guys that and then here's the worst part.
It doesn't last. It's bad for their psyche. It's really bad.
So
you demasculinize
a masculine woman with a feminine man.
No.
Dr. Peterson said nobody's happy.
Exactly.
And I was like, ooh, that hurt. I thought at least the woman would be happy, but she doesn't like a feminine man.
No, because women don't want to lead. This is something that everybody keeps missing.
And the perfect analogy is women perfect analogy.
Built to lead.
Well, some women, there's spectrums and some women are.
No.
There's
women are not built to lead. Anybody can lead. Women are not built to lead, though.
I don't know. I don't know everything. I know nothing.
I know that people who lead are not to be people who are led by their emotions.
Oh, emotion. So here's the kicker. Women want men with high EQ,
Yeah, it's
And the
crazy.
men with high IQ, they don't want. They say they want a man with high EQ, but then they get a man with high EQ. You know what a man with high EQ will do?
Feminine stuff.
No,
What?
absolutely not. The exact opposite.
What do you mean?
There's a
I don't know where
difference
you're going with
between
this.
women with high EQ and a man with high EQ. A man with high EQ will have little patience for women's tantrums, will have little patience for women's desires, we have little patience for women's, right?
I
So
hear that.
men with high EQ have very little patience with and have very little tolerance with stupidity.
Well,
So when a woman gets
you
emotional,
could be the guy who has high EQ but no options.
no, because if you have high EQ and integrity, you'll
And you're
be
600
alone.
pounds?
And well, if you have high EQ, you'll probably lose weight. You'll probably work
And
out.
you're
You'll probably do whatever
broke?
you need to.
And you're broke?
Well, broke is a different ballgame.
No. I
Broke
thought
is
it
a
was
different
just about the
ballgame.
high EQ. What happened?
Well, what I'm saying is a man with high EQ is generally, we'll just say they're generally successful. Let's say a man with high EQ that is successful. Let's go that route.
Okay.
Let's not worry about the broke fat guys. But a man with high EQ will have little patience for women's emotions.
Well, that guy has
Will have
tons of
little
options.
patience for women that put a lot of chaos in something, a lot of emotions, a lot of stirring the pot.
Yeah,
right?
because that guy also has.
They'll be like they'll be real nice about it because they're going to be emotionally controlled, and they'll walk you out the fucking door, shut the door behind you, and move on.
Yeah, because that guy has a lot of options.
Well, but girls don't want that. They want a guy. So the chaotician girl has to find a guy that has low EQ, and then they complain about it.
Yes. Does
that make sense?
Incompatible. Incompatible.
Well, so if whatever monkey you got, you better control it, guy or girl.
Yeah. Well, they don't want to submit.
Pardon? Guys don't want to die for the women either. So who's the winner here?
Well,
Nobody.
there's a lot of shit. We could talk about how many shit dudes are out there too, because there's tons of those. But
there's more of those than and then there's guys that there's a lot of good guys out there.
Don't get me started.
That have I'd say low EQ.
Define good.
Define good. A good man, not a great man, not a shitty man. A good man is a garbage guy that works every day, takes care of his family, and he's happy.
But that
guy guys when they make
that guy can still beat his wife.
You know why guys? I didn't answer the one question. Is that do you know why men don't care about a girl's money?
Because it's not what we shop for.
No, but do you know why?
Because we shop for the feminine.
No, do you know why?
Because we typically think we are the provider, I would say.
Well, that's our gender role.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
the reason men don't like
stuff. I just want the hottest of the hottie, that kind of thing.
Why don't we want a girl that makes a lot of money, makes millions of dollars a year?
Because they challenge our lead.
Well, a lot of people also say, well, I'm going to say because you're insecure. No, I'm very secure. I'm a very secure, and I could date a girl that has more money than me, but she won't want to date me because she doesn't respect me because I don't make as much as her. Women have hypergamy. They want to date a guy that's higher, right? They want a guy that's taller. They want a guy that's stronger, that makes more money than them.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you're above that and you make less, they're going to remember I said guys are supposed to love their women and women are supposed to respect their men. They don't respect somebody that makes less than them.
Well,
so when a girl gets higher up in status, her pool shrinks.
Options.
Her pool of people shrink.
Yeah.
Shrink to nothing.
Well, they think by getting the job they'll have more options, but it's not how it works.
Actually, yeah, you're right. It actually does.
Incompatible, I tell you. This boss bitch energy, this feminist bullshit.
Well, I think feminine in the 70s had a great place. I think today it's just so misguided. It's insane.
Fair. I think they just make women different now.
Well, who made them that way?
society, programming. Like you said, both people going to work now, so the women ain't in the home no more. I said this on X a while back. I said, women went to work, and slowly our culture disappeared.
Mhm. Well, there's a lot. Your wife doesn't work outside the house, does she?
I mean, she does little stuff, but no, not really.
Okay, so that's not true. My wife didn't work entirely. Well, I worked. She worked her ass off, but taking care of the kids, taking care of the house, and taking care of, helping me out with my
What do you mean
business.
external of the homework? Because
So
the home takes a lot of work. I know what you're saying, but that's
right,
what you're talking about, though, is the external of the home kind of work.
my wife worked more time than I have. I got more done than my wife did. Does that make sense? Let me give you an example. I went to
Well,
work when my
you're
wife
under
and
pressure doing what you have to do.
right. So my wife was trying to build some planter boxes. She had some 4x4s. I showed her what to do, and her and her mom would come over one day and take care of it. And I went to work. They wanted to do something. They just wanted to do something together. I'm like, that's great. Daughter and mom doing something. I get back. The first row of the 4x4s were I started off in the morning, showed them what to do, and then I took off. I had 8 hours of doing all kinds of crazy cool stuff, building houses and stuff, and enjoying the hands-on work. And then I came back and they had one row put in. And I go, what happened?
Okay.
And she goes, well, we spent all day doing this. And they did. They were out there all day. And I said, well, why didn't you
They were
cut
out there all
anything?
day.
They were all putting like four pieces of wood in, leveling it off, drilling the holes, putting the spikes in. And I said, all right, come on, let's take a shot at this. So you put this one here, you mark this one, you cut it, wham, 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 wham. And I had the rest of the one done in 2 hours.
Yeah.
They took all day putting one and I put 12 in. Me and them put 12 in.
This is different, though,
Well, this is
because,
construction, and I was
well,
the
it's
king
a
of that.
little bit of that, but I think it's an RPM issue. So it's hard to get your RPMs up at home.
If you say it's hard, it's hard.
I hear
I
you
agree
on
with that
that, but
statement. But
it's legitimately harder than if you were on the job site.
well, so I've never had a hard time getting my RPMs up on anything.
Like when I leave the house and I go knock shit out. When I get
Right.
back home, it gets kind of loungy and just I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
that's your home.
Right. But it's not the same speed. I don't operate at the same speed. I used to well, back in the day, I would come home from work and I would tell her, like, any big shit you want me to do, give it to me when I get home from work. Cause I am chopping, boy. Mine, bang, 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 bang. My brain's kicking, my body's kicking. I was just in motion. I was just sweating. I was just doing all the stuff. Like I am fucking firing on all cylinders right now. So when I hit the door, give me the shit. Cause I have all of my energy still.
Oh,
But
I'm
it's
done after that. I am done.
really.
I'm
Uh,
done.
But no, but shortly
I'm done
after,
at
like
work. I have to take a day off and do it here.
when I would do that though, I would come home and I would get this big shit knocked out in the next half hour, but I would pewter out at some point and my fucking energy would start to fall off. So I know that there's I don't know. It's easy to let your RPMs kind of fall at home.
Don't
So
disagree with that.
I get that on some level, but
Mine is the like time frame. Like the weekends on
uh,
Sunday, I pride myself in doing nothing. I pride myself on doing nothing. But I can work Saturday and this Sunday, I I did a lot of work on Sunday. I had to power wash the house because we're gonna stain the brick. I put in a post. I took out some lettuce around the property and I
the
pulled up
lattice.
some lattice is like did you
Yeah.
ever see like screens under a deck?
Wait, I thought you said lettuce for a second.
Lattice, which is
Lattice. I got you.
it's the cross
I
support,
know.
it's not even a support, it's just like a screen, a 4x8 sheet and a
Like a
1/4 inch thick and it's just like
plastic or
little
wood
piece of
crap.
wood.
Yeah.
And it was green, so I had to get rid of it. And I, dug it up, tore it out, and I power washed off some canoes and stuff like that. I did it on Saturday, right, or Sunday. But last weekend was Memorial Day. Guess what I did Monday? nothing. And you couldn't get me to do nothing that day.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
Some
so
people
I
don't know how
picked,
to turn it off, so that's good.
yeah. Well, like you said, when you know when to turn it off, it's your time frame.
Mm.
What about Saturday and Sunday? Do you get stuff done then?
Some, but even when I do, it's not like I'm clicking when I'm out working. Nothing
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, I get it. I get it.
Nothing, a fraction of it at best.
No, I'm on all the time. So when I'm on, I'm on. When I get motion, when I get in motion, it's hard to get me out of motion.
That's the thing,
It's
maybe, is the RPM. So you know how to hold RPM, but cranking it up at home is difficult.
so ADHD.
Yeah,
I don't have that problem.
yeah.
It's always there. It's a reserve. It's an endless, boundless situation of energy, or endless, boundless um, source of energy.
I think if I had more means, I think things might be a little different. But
That's possible. They would be different if more
I
means.
think my attention is divided a lot into different ways.
Agreed.
Maybe even thinking about shit that I shouldn't be thinking about because I know it's coming down the road or whatever the hell,
Well,
you
if
know.
it's coming down the road, you should be thinking about it.
Well, it's not to say that exact. It's because where you place your attention is where you place your energy, right?
Well, what your focus will become your reality.
Where you place your
What you
attention is
focus
where you put your energy. But like if you
focus.
know, I guess it's kind of the difference between like being behind the power curve and being ahead of the power curve. Because I think that you're in a position where you're ahead of the power curve. Like if a problem comes up for you, it's one of like a few. Or if a problem comes up for me, it's like one of like 20 something.
Well, a
Is that
problem's a problem, but
Mhm.
so like you said, means with me, I saved a lot of money when I was young. When I was young, kid, a piggy bank was the greatest thing for me. And I saved my money. I saved my money so that it basically there's a term for it, and it's called, remember the marshmallow test?
Mm. Delayed
Delayed
gratification.
gratification.
Yeah,
Yeah. So delayed gratification made my emergencies not as much as emergency,
that's a good habit.
right? So, whenever I built a building, I had a surplus. I always figure 10%. So here's the building cost. It's gonna be another 10%. And then at one point, I just got to the point where I'd charge my customers cost plus. So
I think
what
it's
I
the
would
plate.
do,
I think it's the
huh?
plate. So it's hard to say because I know you have a lot going on, but it's like on your personal plate, I don't feel like there's a lot.
Well, so I set that up that way. That's a very good point, because I knew, to me, to be high functioning outside the house, I had to find the right girl
The recoup. Yeah.
to
Uh,
take,
So,
so
so
to
you can R and
trust,
R when you're not on duty.
well, to have the fortress of solitude when I got home.
Mm. To
Do you know
where
what I
your
mean?
home is still your sanctuary and not your busy ground, that
Well,
kind of thing.
the recharging the battery
The
had to be
recouping,
done
yeah.
at home.
Mm.
The recharging the battery had to be done at home.
That's a
And I
big
had the
lesson for anybody out there trying to choose a girl. I tell you.
dude, if you pick the you,
Pick the one that gives you like the least headaches is kind of the drift.
so the least headache. So I found the girl. She said this to me. So what girl? What I prayed for her, and she said she prayed for me
I
at the
would
same
also
time.
say, based on what we were just talking about, they made them different back then.
They did make them differently back then. Yes, the focus for women wasn't equality. The focus was to get married and have kids, and
Right.
and it was a
And
great focus.
submission was still a good word.
Well, submission to the right person is a good thing. So she
Correct.
found
Correct.
the person to submit to, because she knew that my whole focus was us. Then the focus became, and I asked her, "What do you want, kids or no kids? You want to work for a living?" And she goes, "I want kids." I made that reality come true. So she said, I wanted this. And as the person that loved her the most, I made that come true. So you want to stay home? She goes, I want to stay home. Right. And the beauty of our relationship was she was the kind of girl that could stay home. She didn't ask for a lot. She didn't ask for a new car. She didn't ask for a handbag. She didn't ask for any of that stuff. She wanted the kids, and that was her focus, and that's what she wanted. And all I had to do was pay for the
Sounded
kids
very
and her.
grounded.
It was a very grounded, but
No,
I
her
chose that up
herself.
front.
She sounds very, or at least then or whatever. She sounded very grounded.
She still is. And,
Well,
you
like
know,
to the point where like a lot of people lose sight of what matters. You know.
oh, 100%. But some people working might matter for them, their career. And so my focus would have been back then, make sure she doesn't fool around on me, because when girls go out and do careers, then they have access to more guys, and then they say they're staying late or they're having weekend trips or something like that.
That can only work too if you don't want kids.
Well, I did. So that was very good point. Know your opponent as you know yourself. You need not fear 100 bats. I asked her. I didn't know what I wanted. Right. I didn't know what I wanted. And when she said I want kids, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you what you want. And then I had some kids. I'm like, this is the best thing on earth.
Yeah, it's good.
She showed me the best thing on earth. And so the best coaching I could give anybody is, I have a bunch of partners in business. The number one indicator of success is the partner you choose in life. That is 100% the best partner you'll ever have.
I assume that goes for women too, but I know that goes for men.
Exactly.
For sure.
That's not gender specific.
It could make you or break you.
It will make you or break you. It's not if and or but.
I mean, I guess there's no real given that it'll break you, but it's going to be a lot harder.
I hate to say this, if you got the right one, you're unbreakable.
No, I'm saying the opposite end though. Like you could slug it out in some scenario and make it happen, but it's gonna be so much harder.
Oh, we listen. Don't think we don't fight. We fight all the time.
Fighting that, like different overarching goals will always have you. Like I said before, you're trying to pull them along with you on your journey, but some people just don't want to go. They want to keep their problems for whatever reason.
Well, you gotta. So if you're able to lead your wife, you lead her in the right direction.
Right.
If she's able to submit to you, then you got to be a man worth submitting to.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Say it again, please.
If you're going to be a man worth submitting to, you have to be a man worth submitting to. You got to be that guy. And how do you attract a high value woman?
Exactly.
Be a man worth submitting to. How do you attract a high value guy? Be the girl worth dying for. It's really that simple.
It kind of is.
And people around make it more complicated than it needs to be.
Yep.
And like I said, that theory was more than 2,000 years ago.
And that's why it's made for 2% of people.
It's not made for 2%. It's made for everybody.
But people choose wrong. Miserably.
And guys,
I don't know if that's a good thing to say.
For a fact, guys choose poorly when their dick's involved.
Yeah, you got to think with the right head. That's for sure.
You got to think with the right head. This one guy said it best. He's a famous divorce attorney. And he goes, I thought at one point I'd be free from this. Maybe at 60 or 70, I'd be free from this. Guy's 90 years old, got a divorce. And then he wanted to marry another girl. And I said, oh, hey, great. You got a divorce. It was a horrible divorce. Let's do a prenup. He goes, no, I don't need a prenup. And he's like, I just realized something at that second. I'm going to be attached to an idiot for the rest of my life. I'm going to be attached to an idiot for the rest of my life. So guys that choose with their penis generally get their head off of life.
Well, it's the same thing I say. I said people who lead are not to be people who are led by their emotions.
Oh yeah, you can't be a great leader and be emotional.
That's what I said about the women leading the relationship and stuff.
Some women aren't emotional.
Huh?
Some women do have high EQ.
I ain't met one.
Well, I don't know about you, but my mom had high EQ.
Well, I bet she was still emotional.
I never saw her emotional.
And it's not exactly about being emotional either. It's about making decisions based on your emotions, about being led by your emotions. Because I say this, and it's like the voting thing, right? I used to be like, oh no, women shouldn't vote, but it's more than that. I firmly believe that people who are led by their emotions should not be allowed to vote. And the same boat here, they should not be allowed to lead, because that is a road to ruin, all of it.
There are women that are meant to lead.
Nah, I don't think so. I think
You
anybody
haven't met
can.
one, is
I
what you're
think
saying.
anybody can lead. Anybody can do it. Anybody
Correct.
can fill the void, but
Mhm.
they're not built for it. And this
They
is why
found
they
that.
get. This
Do you
is
know
why I
that
think
they
they get
found that
miserable.
women in CEO positions really do well?
They're really good at admin and executive stuff.
No, the women in CEO position. No, women choose the admin positions. So now you're talking about choice versus aptitude, right? Women, do you believe that women, with you seeing your kids losing their mind and your wife would be calm as can be, trying to get everything organized and set in place? Are they comfortable in chaos?
Depends.
Can they be comfortable in chaos? Their brains
Can.
are wired to be comfortable in chaos. So
Anybody
in a
can. But I've
business
also seen the
setting,
opposite. So how do you say that?
well, yeah, you can say that, and but after prolonged
It
kids,
depends. No, sometimes no. Some people's patience wears thin. Some people get more patience.
right?
It
Agreed.
depends on the person, really.
Right. So what I'm saying is, there's some women that can lead in CEO positions and do very well because they're not as emotional and make emotional decisions. They make logical decisions.
I think in that position they're leaning on reason more than anything.
And I heard this one woman that's an entrepreneur. This one girl is an entrepreneur. I wish I remember her name. And she said that I hate hiring women. Why?
Yeah.
She goes, the HR department is made because, and I don't know. I'm not in the corporate world. HR department is made because of women.
Yeah.
There was no HR department 40 years ago.
Right.
And I just went, I don't know. But she said it, not me.
I've heard time after time again, though, not for myself, but there's like various scenarios where there's tons of dudes out there that don't want to work with women now because
Women
of
don't want to work with
HR
women.
and because of all the shit and because of all the danger that it brings and because of probably a lot of the dynamics that are brought about with something like that, right?
I don't know. I'm not in that world.
I hear about it. I'm not in that world either, but I hear about
Yeah.
these guys complaining about it.
They can complain. Hey, listen, dude, it's about that time to bring forth
Yes,
the
sir.
rhythm and the rhyme. I got mine. You get yours. I want to see sweat coming out your pores.
That's right.
All right, G-Money, I got to let you go. Let's sign off. Tell people to like, subscribe, and comment on our posts and what our videos are.
Comment.
Because we'd love to hear
I
from
know
you.
we pissed somebody off. Comment.
I'm sure I pissed off enough people too.
Yeah. All right, we're out of here. Jedi out.
Talk to you.